Hello and welcome to Developing Devotion. I'm your host, Taiha Perron. Thank you so much for joining me tonight, wherever you are coming from around the world. I'm so grateful that you can be here and joining me. So, we're going to dive a little deeper tonight into numerology, which is my specialty, which I love. I'm so excited always to share numerology with people because it totally opens up your mind and consciousness and really gives you so much confidence in this unique individual that you are and all the things that happen in your life and really all of your natural traits. It allows you to make so much more sense of who you are, which is really, really empowering. And before we get into that, I just really wanted to share a message that came through tonight for you as you're watching this, really this week's kind of message. We've had a lot of moon stuff going on with the eclipses, and this is bringing on a lot of emotion for people, a lot of big transformational changes, which is awesome. Really, we're all being forced to take off the masks that we wear and really become our true selves. So just really honor that in your own life as that comes into your awareness. It's a really, really powerful time, and really trust your deep knowing. You know, oftentimes so many opportunities can come to us, and sometimes we have to say no to things that even maybe we want to say yes to, but in order to maintain a positive mental state, in order to maintain positive relationships or our home space, work, whatever it may be. I mean, how many people do you know that just take on so much stuff and they're busy, busy, busy all the time? And really, busyness is a choice, right? And this is something I'm learning over and over and over again as I intend to really have this creative, open space for summertime. And sometimes it can be a challenge when lots of opportunities come to you. You want to say yes to everything, but just really knowing, trusting that deep intuitive knowing that's within you, what to say yes to, what to say no to, and really allowing yourself to experiment and really just trusting how your body reacts, how your emotions react to certain things that maybe you say yes to. And really just always giving yourself permission to reroute and come back to your intentions. And, you know, this whole thing called life is an experiment, and we're all doing the best that we can. So really just trust that deep, deep knowing, and really trust that in order to have a really creative and expressive and fun life, it is required that you provide yourself the space to do so and the structure to do so. So really, structure and freedom go hand in hand in life. We really need both of them to support one another. So that's just the message that came through to share with you before we dive into numerology tonight. And we are getting into your unique life purpose. So excited. Change your life, blow your mind, I promise you. So the really cool thing about your life purpose number is that it never changes. It's your birthday number. So this is different when we would use your name for other numbers, right? People can change their names. And so those numbers can change, but your birthday, I believe, is your unique genetic blueprint that God gave each of us. We were all born at a certain time on a certain day, and that's something that can never change. So it's really powerful. So the way that you are going to find your life purpose number is really simple. You're going to write out your birthday. We'll use me for an example. So my birthday is January 12th, 1988. So it's really easy to do on your calculator, on your phone, and you just want to individually add up all those numbers. So for me, I would write 1 as in January, and then 1, 2 for 12, 1988, and add up all those individual numbers. So for me, when you add all those numbers up, that equals 30. And then you're going to keep reducing. So I would go 3 plus 0, ultimately ending up with the number 3. So I'm going to give you just a minute to do that to yourself wherever you are. And once you have found your number, just calculate it a couple times just to be sure. So, if you have watched the previous show that we did, we talked about personal year cycles. So, I'd suggest watch that after if you haven't already. And we kind of went through each of the numbers for the cycle that you'll be on. So, this is going to be similar, but in the way that this is your life purpose through each of these numbers. So, it's really powerful to understand. It's going to give you so much more confidence in your identity, in your purpose, what you're here to do with your life. It's just really, really going to help support you. So let's dive right in with number 1. And if you are totally new to numerology, basically the numbers go from 1 to 9, and each number has a different vibration, a different frequency, and a different meaning. And every number has benefits and like strengths and weaknesses. So knowing like there's no numbers that are better than any others, we need all of them, and each of them has their very unique blueprint. So if you, for example, are seeing repeating numbers on the clock or on license plates or anything really in your life, this information in this show will help you to learn what the meanings of each number is so that your guides or God can give you these messages in other areas of your life by showing you these recurring numbers, which is really cool. So we're going to start off with the number 1. So if you are a life purpose number 1, this is like the beginning, right? So again, 1 to 9, 1 being the beginning, 9 being the end of this cycle or the series of numbers. So 1 is all about leadership. You think of that masculine sort of energy of number 1. So leadership, identity, a strong sense of will, very self-assured, doesn't like to kind of go with the crowd. A person with a life purpose number of 1 really needs to be in charge of their life. They don't like being told what to do. They really need to kind of forge their own path. So this makes them really great leaders, great business owners, really good, like head of the household type people. And again, every number has its strengths and weaknesses. But 1s are very powerful leaders. So if you have that number 1, just know that your inner craving and desire for leadership, your innate talent for being driven and focused, that's like who you are. That's who you are here to be. So really allow yourself to embody that. So number 2, if you want to think of 1 being sort of that masculine energy, 2 is that beautiful feminine energy. So 2, if you're a life purpose 2, very intuitive, very caregiving. 2s are natural healers. They're here to help support people in their lives. 2s are all about balance. So really finding that balance in life. They're great partners. So if your life purpose is a number 2, know that you're always kind of striving for that balance and really trust your intuition. 2 is all about your intuitive capabilities. So really trust that if you are life path 2, you're going to have a strong intuition and probably some psychic abilities. So honor that and let yourself explore that. That's going to be really fun for you. And knowing that you are really going to thrive in a cooperative partnership type of environment versus being completely independent and on your own. So that's the life path, life purpose of number 2. Moving on from there, number 3 is all about creative self-expression. So I'm a number 3. I have so many 3s in my whole numerology blueprint. So that's why you see me on camera all the time. You see me doing all these things because it's literally like in my makeup. So 3s are natural entertainers, writers, artists, the creative people in the world. That is the life purpose of 3. Self-expression is a big, big part of the key part really of what we're here to do, and also inspire others to express themselves. So that is the life purpose of 3. So if you are a number 3, just really have confidence in your knowing that you're here to be creative. And it might take you a while as you try all these different forms of creativity to kind of find what it is you really excel at. But ultimately, your service to the world is just being creative in itself, and that's going to help to inspire so many people around you. Moving on from that is number 4. So if you're a life purpose, number 4, 4 is all about like, they're the builders of society. So if you're a number 4, you are super focused and driven, but in the way of like holding structure. You think of like a square with 4 sides. So 4s are very much, they're like the very responsible people in the world. And thank God we have 4s in the world, because that's an area where, you know, I tend to struggle being a 3. So if you're a 4, know that your responsibility and accountability, your desire for structures to be in place so that you can maximize efforts is so powerful, and the world really needs you to do that. So thank you, 4s, for doing the work that you do in the world and showing up and holding that structure for so many of us. It's really powerful. So moving on from that, number 5, life purpose. 5s are here to adventure, for freedom. If you are a life purpose 5, which I know many 5s, many of my favorite people are number 5s, and really they're here seeking freedom. 5s are all about wanting to try all the things, spontaneous, freedom seeking, adventurers. So if you're a 5, know that your desire to try all the different things, that's just part of you. So don't try and deny that really strong characteristic of yours, that's just part of your genetic blueprint. Okay, it's really, really powerful. So if you are a 5, you're meant to travel, you're meant to try new things. You're probably going to have a lot of different jobs throughout your life, because you do need to try a lot of different things to kind of know what it is that you like to do. You also kind of like to learn something and then move on. So really allow yourself and permission to do that. And give yourself also permission to have variety in a lot of areas of your life. So really that 5 sense of like variety. So that's 5. Moving on from there, if you're a life purpose number 6, 6 really is the caregivers of the world. They are like the parents to all of us. 6s really have this desire to nurture and take care of. They tend to have this sort of utopian ideal of the world. And oftentimes, the world doesn't live up to their expectations because they do have such high standards. So this can make it very challenging if you are a 6. Just know, if you can try and be a little more gentle on the world, and try not to be so pessimistic, because that can be a quality of 6s. But you're so loving and so nurturing, and oftentimes you put everyone else first before yourself. So thank you for doing the work that you do in the world. And again, just knowing, if you are a 6, you're born to just be a beautiful caretaker for all of us in a really creative way. So when you think of the number 6, it's a multiple of 3. So you do carry over those very creative qualities, and that sense of self-expression. So a lot of artistic abilities in number 6 as well, but within that scope of caregiving and nurturing and this sort of like vibration of the home. So if 4 is the number of like structure and say like the building or the house itself, 6 really symbolizes making that house a home, which is a really beautiful comparison. So moving on from that, number 7, if you are a life purpose number 7, you are here as a truth seeker. You are the ones that are asking the big questions in life. Why am I here? What am I here to do? What is this all for? You are philosophers, you're natural teachers. You're also very technically inclined. You love to research, you love to learn. You're always desiring to learn more, which also requires you to have a lot of alone time. So just really give yourself permission to take all the time that you need to really replenish your batteries. If you're a 7, oftentimes you're probably not going to be much of a partier. So you're probably going to really need to recharge your batteries after you go out in social situations. So just know that and really tune into your energy because sevens are very intuitive, very spiritual. Definitely here on a spiritual path. Just know, and as you tune into your energy, maybe even before you go out, oftentimes you're going to need to really ground yourself and get connected with yourself and kind of like work up to going out for social situations. So this is also, all of this information is going to be so powerful for you in your relationships because having this wisdom and knowledge is going to make you better equipped to understand your lovers, your husband, your wife, your partners, your friends. So powerful for that. So that's all about 7. So moving on to number 8. 8, if 8 is your life path, your life purpose, you are here for business. You are here for money. You are here to manage people. 8, which is why 8 is such an auspicious number in Asian cultures because it's all about money. So if you are an 8, just know that you have this really strong natural ability to manage businesses, to start your own business, to manage people. It's going to help if you have some other numbers in your makeup that support the communication aspect that's going to be necessary as you maybe manage people, but definitely that strong desire and motivation for money, success, fame, recognition, that is all about 8. So just know if you have that number, that is absolutely where you're being guided, and we need your power in those areas, and especially if you are a conscious person, that's what we need more of in this world, right? Is conscious, wealthy people. So that's really, really powerful. And then finally, we get to number 9, the last number of the 9 numbers. So as you can imagine, 9 being the final number, 9 is like the ultimate humanitarian. So if you are life purpose 9, know that your desire to create this wonderful, beautiful, big changes in the world, that is totally your life purpose. So 9s are all about wanting, like they see the bigger picture. They see how everything could be better. Oftentimes they struggle with actually how to get there. Sometimes they can get so caught up in the bigger picture that it's a bit of a challenge to take those incremental steps to get there. But just know if you are a 9, you are absolutely here to share your light, share your wisdom. You are so, so wise. You're naturally a very old soul, and your desire to nurture and take care of everybody around you and really create the space to nurture those around you. So 9s are very generous with their money and their time, and they just really want to nurture and love those around them in whatever ways they can. And they feel a strong desire to provide for the people that they love and for the world. So just know if you are a 9, that desire is going to be very strong within you. 9s are also very literary, so they're very drawn to the creative aspects as well through writing, reading, music. So this being said, you may have not tapped into that creative aspect yet. It may not even be something that comes supernatural to you, but know that you totally have the ability and the natural strength to pursue that. Just opening yourself up to that. And the world really wants your wisdom. You really are here to share and to teach your theories and your philosophies and your vision for the world. That's why we need you. So that is all of the 9 numbers. They all complement and support one another so, so beautifully. And as I said, this information is going to help you so much in your relationships. So I would love for you to connect with me after this show and let me know, what is your life purpose? What is your husband or wife or lover's life purpose, and how do those come together? This is such powerful information in the form of relationship because it allows us to understand each other on such a deeper level. Um, yeah, so it's a really, really exciting science. I really believe that numerology is a science that connects with spirituality, and it really is a gift. It's such a simple way for us to understand ourselves and to really embody who we came here to become. I truly believe that God gave us this system to understand our character, to understand our purpose and what we're here to do with our lives. Because how often do we struggle? Do we wonder our whole lives, what am I here to do? What am I here to do with my life? Like, what is this all for? And I wonder how amazing the world would be if we started teaching our children this at a young age and really helped cultivate those strengths in their unique genetic blueprint with their numerology. It would be so powerful and really allow the people of the world to have so much more confidence in themselves. How often do we try and get better at all these things that we're not very good at, right? I know I spent a lot of years doing that rather than really focusing in on our strengths. So that's what I want to leave you with tonight with all of this information. Really tune in to what your strengths are, what your natural abilities are, the things that come so easy to you that you take them for granted, right? That's what we do. But that's why we're all such a variety of strengths. And one of the best ways that you can learn how unique your strengths are and really how valuable they are is surrounding yourself with a powerful group of other people, whether that's a mastermind or just a group of friends that you get together with often that are, also really conscious beings. That was one of the best ways that I ever really learned to cultivate my own strengths and see that, the things that I was great at, not everyone else is. And likewise, so if you can give yourself the opportunity to be in an environment or a mastermind like that, you're going to see how valuable all these people are to you and that we all have these different strengths. And that's what's so powerful about a group of powerful conscious people coming together is that we all have these amazing strengths that we can combine together to create massive change in the world. So for all of you nines out there, all of you really, but those of you who have this great big vision for the world and how the world can be a better place, I would love it if you could kind of start gathering these people with these different strengths, just even in your network, so that you have the resources available to you when the time comes for you to really launch what you need to. You have a support system around you with all of these amazing people who are leaders in their own right and can help to support your vision and your dream. We all need supportive people around us in our lives. And so I would love it if you use this information in your relationships, in your business, really honing in on your strengths and just also reading up on what your weaknesses are too in your numbers. And just know that as we focus more on our strengths versus our weakness, again, what we focus on expands. So as we focus on what we're great at, we'll get even farther in life toward our vision, toward our dreams, toward our goals. And that's what this is really all about. So I'm going to leave you with that tonight. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm so grateful that you're here. I would love to hear how this information has impacted your life. I hope it leaves you feeling confident and inspired and really powerful, knowing that you are here for a very unique purpose. And I wish you all the best. Until next time, I'll see you later.